Yep.
Your thoughts on what that could mean for oil exploration in northern Nigeria?
It will obviously open a new vista for oil exploration activities in other parts of the country, apart from the Niger Delta that we've been very familiar with. It's more important because it offers us an opportunity to have a diversification of our sources of hydrocarbon in Nigeria. And the implication of that is that anything we find in the inland basins, we will ultimately have to consume in Nigeria. There's no point thinking about export in that instance because of the distance of piping whatever we have to the ports, to the coastline. So we're thinking in terms of if it's oil, we'll have inland refineries. If it's gas, we will have to utilize it for power and other stuff. And that would be good for the economy of the country.
You mentioned gas, but it seems oil appears to be the focus. We know the Delta region is prolific for gas. Potentially, can we find gas in northern Nigeria?
It's more, we're likely to find the odds are, the chances are that we'll probably find more of gas than oil.
I see.
And there's been few drillings already that give indication in that direction.
All right. Okay, so let's move on back, to, if you like, to the Delta region. Of course, the Egina project is very significant. What Total has done with that really speaks to what can be done in the deep offshore. Can you speak to the prospect of similar projects coming on stream in the next year or so?
Yes, Egina, it's a big one. The FPSO sailed off last year and it's already on location and production had commenced in Egina field. Total is looking at utilizing the capacity that Egina FPSO brings by adding some other satellite fields they have into the mix. There are other discoveries in the deep water at various stages of development. Potentially could lead to another Egina type developments and activities. But most of them haven't crossed the FID line yet. So it's difficult to estimate as to what the timelines will be for their development.
Moving down to Lagos, what are the prospects for significant activity in Lagos offshore?
Well, the Lagos area, it's what we call the Dahomey Basin. The outlook for Dahomey Basin is good as well. There's been a production going on in Ajay Field, as you know. There's been another discovery called Ogo Field that is struggling to get into development and production stage as well. There are other exploration activities that could happen in terms of acquiring the necessary data and drilling the wells in order to make new discoveries. I think the prospects are there for the Dahomey Basin in general. You could also move on to Anambra Basin. The Anambra Basin is already known to be a prolific, well, I won't say prolific, but there's been discoveries there as well. There's been substantial discoveries for gas as well. These are activities that are also inching towards development and production. There's been some test production from Orient Petroleum's discovery in Anambra Basin, which the former president went to launch in 2014 or 2012, I can't remember exactly. But in general, and if you relate that back to what President Buhari said in his at Kolmani River location, Kolmani River 2 location, he said that, you know, the NNPC should step up exploring and doing all the activities leading to discovery of hydrocarbon in other sedimentary basins. So the sedimentary basins are several, and they're in different regions of Nigeria. So it's not really north alone.
Right.
That's an inland basin in Nigeria.
So potentially we can see the NNPC doing a lot more drilling. Obviously that needs to be financed. The whole conversation around, you know, where the financing comes from, I guess comes up again.
Yeah.
There have been suggestions that the NNPC should tap the capital markets a lot more. Do you think now that we're seeing a lot more drilling for oil across Nigeria that potentially we can see a reorganization of the NNPC that is driven by the need for capital to explore?
Yes, I mean the NNPC is currently doing all the work and obviously financing it through the budgetary system of the federal government. It might be like that for a while until they are able to put a package attractive enough for investors to come and then begin to invest and put their money into some of these assets. It's not unusual for the government to lead the way and do the preliminary data gathering and enticement of these areas in such a way that other investors could come and invest. The obvious dimensions and sizes of discoveries they make, the type of discoveries, the economic benefits and the outlets of how you can recover your money and make money out of the transaction will obviously be the attraction eventually for any investor that wants to come in.
So very quickly, to summarize, if we're looking at the oil sector in Nigeria, exploration is something that we're going to be talking about a lot this year. Would you agree?
Exploration, yes, but I will qualify that a bit in the sense that there has to be more done. You know, we still have the legacy issues of the PIB that needs to unravel, and it hasn't quite gotten to that point yet. We have the issue of these frontier basins as well that needs to be attractive enough for other investors to jump into. So you can imagine if we have multiple Kolmani River 2 type activities going on at the same time, then that would obviously be good for the country and it will be good for Nigeria.
Still a lot of work to do, clearly, but thank you so much for sharing your insights into this area.